Test. Okay, I think that's good. This is me. Okay, this is me. All right, sweet. Hey, Rachel, Lindsay, Shelly, Jules. Jules, I love that you've been chiming in on these classes. Jennifer, yeah, don't let me miss you. Jackie, Lisa, wow, long time no see. Welcome. And I mean that in the best way possible. Shelly, let's see, Carla, Claire, Lindsay, Jackie, Rita, and I think that's everybody. Okay, sweet. If you want to say hello, you can. It's okay if you don't. Believe it or not, there are a shitload of introverts in every way possible, or at least shy people that are into Hootpath. So it's probably because of the founder that I'm not positive. Anyway, yeah, I can't tell. I don't know if I've just spent a lot of time alone lately, and I can't tell if I'm slipping into craziness or I'm embracing it. I don't know if you've ever been there with me, or even if that makes any sense at all. But I really can't tell if this is good or bad. And that's always a fun, weird place to be in, I guess. It feels fine, like I'm spending a lot of time alone, but I'm really like, I don't feel like I'm freaking out or anything, and okay, so let's get started. Yeah, I've been wondering about a lot of things lately. I really am beginning to wonder, like, is there a normal person? Like, does anyone like ever self-recognize as normal? Like, I feel like no one does, and we keep using that term, and I'm just wondering if it's all sort of torturing us. Do you self-identify as normal? Can you, like, I mean, I want to self-identify as normal, but nothing about my life seems to think that I'm normal. Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I definitely didn't grow up normal. What the fuck is normal? Okay, sweet. Okay, tribe. Well, not tribe. I don't want to use the word tribe, but I'm proudly unique. All right, good. Uh, 1 second. Okay, y'all. I've got my whiteboard out. That's what you see here. Rita, I think you said you wanted to talk about. I know you said at least brakes. I think you said paddles too. At the shoulders. So we're doing shoulders tonight. I'm gonna write this so I don't like get in flow and forget what the hell we're talking about tonight. Shoulders. All right. Brakes and paddles. Flat and sharp. Yeah, that's how I feel, Carla. I feel like I didn't realize that was weird. I didn't realize wanting equal rights for everybody was weird. I didn't realize like being unafraid of the future was weird. Okay. Brakes and paddles. Anything else? Angles. I think somebody. Well, we're definitely gonna talk about angles. I have the worst handwriting ever. Oh, nice. Nerdness. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We'll talk slow shoulders. There's a 9 second delay, and of course maybe some of you aren't at your computer, so like if you do have a request for a type of shoulder work, I'm taking those requests. And while I'll give you a second to I'm gonna give you a second to type things in. I've really appreciated the support on the new channels and or in the New Times, same channel, but the New Times, and um, viewership is actually up, especially on the Saturday class, and so I'm excited about that. I don't really care about that sort of stuff. The donations are what keeps this alive more than the views, just to be clear. And y'all are great. Static shoulders. I think you mean not moving your feet. Oh, and Jules, in the last class, I totally misunderstood what you were saying, and I went back and watched that class, and now I feel like an idiot. I almost wanted to edit it out, but now I know exactly what you were saying. You weren't saying because I had said earlier 6 point. You were saying your 6 p.m. stall was your go-to hotspot, and that was awesome, and I really appreciate that. I just want to say I'm sorry for being such an idiot, but there's static shoulders. And and unless you write something else, I think that also means rooted in Hootpathland for the static shoulders. So I think that's what you mean. Shoulder wonkiness. Yeah, this whole class is about shoulder wonkiness. Okay, so let's see. I don't want to drag on too long here. Right now we're only 3 minutes behind where I'd like to be, but that's fine. So yeah, fire away. Actually, maybe I should put this somewhere a little bit more where I can see it. Yes, rooted. Oh, that's a different type of static. I mean, we can do that too, actually. That's kind of gooey shoulder. Oh, what are... Like I said before, one of my ADHD hacks is to keep these whiteboards around ever since I found them cheap on sale. So I have several going. I can't recommend them enough for people that... Like, my ADHD sometimes is so bad that I feel like that dude in Memento, where I can't remember, like, shit from just, like, 6 seconds ago. All right, hopefully everything's going to work. Okay, so we're going to play off my iTunes. Something has been weird. We're going to be fine, but something has been kind of weird with my... I did some kind of update, and just and I think that's why I lost my exclamation point, because I have it back now for no reason. So if things go a little squirrely, just stay with me here. All right, here we go. So we're going to go ahead and move into sway, and I'm going to do kind of a shorter sway today, because I'm really looking forward to this class. I'm looking for just the get down of this class. Okay, so please work, please work, please work. Oh, okay. All right, that's pretty good. All right, so sway is our warm-up time. I'm going to go blindfolded. Audible breath in. what can really help you in your shoulder hooping is to really feel the natural separation of the two shoulders. Instead of thinking of your shoulders as just one thing called back, think of them as two independent trees. That one can rise and one can lower. You can think of them as connected by virtue of their branches. But at the core of each tree, it can move somewhat independently of the other. If you get hurt, you can hop on one leg. Audible breath in. In shoulder flow and shoulder hooping, it really helps to think of your two shoulders as separate. That each shoulder has strengths. Each shoulder has a talent. And they work together a lot. But ultimately, they're separate. Audible breath in. It can be hard for me and for some people to get beyond their dominant side, the side they feel the most at home in. And so I invite you to breathe into your non-dominant side. And if they both feel equal, then just pick one. And then as you sway and as you move, you breathe into that side of the body. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take a water break for a second. And then I am ready to get it on. I'm looking forward to this. Oh man. We need a good warm-up. Okay, so go ahead and grab your hoops. And we're going to warm up on the core. And so here's the thing. This is the equivalent of our intermediate advanced class online. So I'm going to assume you know how to core hoop. So I'm not going to teach core hooping tonight. Actually, that's not what I want to. Sorry, I wanted to pick the perfect song. Oh, this is alright. I remember this one. Okay. You can grab your hoops, and we're gonna waist hoop, core hoop, flow hoop, whatever, to warm up. Oh. That's better. All right, shoulder flow. So to hit Jules' request for static shoulders for not moving, the best advice I can give you is to activate your roots, to activate your feet. It's called rooted hooping, and to activate your feet. And if you have to take your shoes off, take your shoes off. I actually can treat my shoes like the soles of my shoes, the inner sole of my shoe. I can still treat that like the floor. But one thing that can really help you in your staying still while shoulder hooping is activating your feet. And I don't know how in the zone you are yet, but you can actually feel at least the ripples of the current all the way down to the feet and all the way back up to the current. So I can feel this rotation that I've got going around me. If I want to, I can let that go all the way to the palms of my feet. And by saying that, I mean that I can feel that rotation going around all the way. Now, if you're having trouble even just standing still, there's a lot of hoopers that struggle just to do what I'm doing right now, and that's totally cool. You're still a hooper. You're still one of us. You still know how to flow. But a way to get to rooted is to let yourself have the necessary steps to keep the hoop up, and then stop. Rock that as long as you can, but before the hoop starts to go into terminal death spiral, pick it back up and move the feet again. Well, we're gonna fix that. We're not gonna fix that. We're gonna work on that. We're gonna sharpen that skill. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna sharpen that. Okay, so I want to show you one thing that will help us in shoulders. I hope this music's not too loud, you can still hear me. This is something that will help you in doing rooted second current shoulders or any kind of rooted anything. Will be understanding what your position to the hoop's current is. So it's 360, so just pick a direction, right? So I'm gonna pick dead onto you right now. What looks like on your screen probably my 6 o'clock, never mind. I don't want my noon is what it is, and I want to just pick that as a stationary point, like it's a camera or something, and just turn to that perspective right there. Right, so this thing, I'm going to change the position. My fist is this distance. And I'm going to just sort of change which shoulder I present. I'm keeping the hoop in the same current. And this is so much harder than it looks, because one way you're kind of going with the current, and that's called stalling. That's what we worked on Saturday. The other way you're cutting. As always, I think tightening the abs, or at least being aware that you can tighten them, helps with this move. Now, before you think I'm crazy, the reason that this helps you is that when you get up to the shoulders, you might not realize it, but sometimes you might have this like unbeknownst to you, you have like an orientation like this where one shoulder is in front or one shoulder is behind. It's kind of one of those situations that, like, as long as you're aware of it, it's okay. But if you're not aware of it, it can become this real block into why you think you can't shoulder hoop. And it might be because, like, oh, I didn't even realize I'm keeping one shoulder in front of me. Okay. Oh. This will work good. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk shoulders. Alright, so to get to the shoulders, I'm assuming everybody knows already, but the way that I teach to every beginner to get to the shoulders is the easiest I think it is to have is to go in with your PM arm. That's like if you're going to the left, your left arm. If you're going to the right, that's your right arm. To dip that arm in, elbow deep into the water, and pull the hoop up on you. And then once I'm up here, the way that I teach shoulder hooping, now of course, like, what you should always know is there's teaching rhythms and then there's real life rhythm. And so the teaching rhythms are just meant to help you get the concept, and then you just abandon them. You forget you ever learned them, because once you're at the concept, you don't even need a name for it, right? So it's not that I'm saying that you have to keep your arms out, but the teaching rhythm for shoulders that I use is a phrase called mountain. Mountain means that my hands are out here. They're on like these like sort of pillowy springs of air underneath between my like arm and the body. My arm is and can totally make contact with my body, but it's pushing back out. Damn, that feels good. I love shoulder hooping. Let's say we're headed towards rooted shoulders, but let's say actually, never mind. Well, all right, I'll hold that for later. I'm at the shoulders, and what I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to sort of just feel the rhythm, like let my body start to feel like what piace is necessary for me to keep the hoop up right now. Maybe I have an injury, or maybe I'm tight somewhere, and I've got to find this like new reality. I'm not injured, by the way, I'm just saying. Each night you get the shoulder flow, or each night you get the flow it's a unique experience, as we all are. Okay, I don't want to waste too much, or not waste, but I don't want to spend too much time on this because we're warming up. So what we're going to do now is switch currents, and we're going to go ahead and do second current shoulders. And because once we do second current shoulders, we'll have both of our flows opened up. Sweet. Nice, Shelly. Alright, so I'm in second current. And if you struggle with second current shoulders, it's absolutely... if you struggle with second current shoulders, it's absolutely no big deal. Use all the tools that you learned in first current. Does it work better if your palms are up, if they're down? Does it work better, like think about that what we were talking about before with how you're presenting each shoulder to it. So second current can be actually kind of like sometimes it can really help to use your hoop experience in the other current. Sweet. So I'm in second current right now. And what I mean, my palms are up towards the sky right now, or even turn even more. That feels one way to my shoulders. If I turn my palms down to the earth, that feels different. I really always try to I like upbeat songs for shoulders, although I like everything to his shoulders, honestly, it's my go-to, but when there's a beat like this and it's a bass beat that's aggressive enough, I kind of let my heart center sort of underneath the hoops, the shoulder. Of course, the bass beat went away, right? It says, but I let the bass beat sort of move the sort of the most center columns of me. Of course, the music stopped, right? Yeah, 2 hoops really helps. Okay, so let's talk about brakes and paddles, because we've been doing one current. Let's do the other current now. And we can break to almost any song in the world, so hopefully this won't be too hard to. Oh yeah, what was that? There we go. Okay. So part of Rita's request was like how to get these planes flat when you're doing the brakes. I think this works. So I'm up here at the shoulders. And there's a few things that we're going to do to make this work. One is, I'm going to break this down for you. I'm going to bring my hand up, and I'm going to do PM breaks right now. I don't have the graphics up right now, so I can't show you what we did the other night, but you can watch that class. I edited it down if you liked it. But this is called a PM break, and so it's whatever direction the hoop is traveling, it's breaking it with that natural hand. And my hand is on the outside of the hoop right now on both of these. And I'll tell you where most people they get wonk in their hoop. And the idea with these is that it would be almost impossible to do 20 of these perfectly in a row, right? I mean, it'd be awesome if you did it, but don't think of that as the goal. Each time you do it is a chance to correct on the last one, right? So that's why doing clean ones back and forth will make more clean ones going forward. But the main thing what happens for most people where their brakes wonk is they get right here and they don't turn back quickly enough. They don't have enough force going back the other way. So the hoop goes to 0 and there's just not enough energy to bring it back this way, so that it wants to dip. So one way you can get around that, let's see if I can, okay. That's not what we want. Alright, let's get rid of that. Okay. So one way I can get around that is on my brakes, I can just hit them super fast. So I stop it, I feel the flex in the pipe, and by the time the pipe is unflexing, like the hoop pipe, by the time it's unflexing, I'm back the other way. But do you see, this is going back, I mean, hopefully this class is you're going to understand my method here, but do you see how we're turning just like we were doing before? I'm turning with the hoop, and that coiling is helping me uncoil, stop, See how coiled up I am? Then when I bring it back, I'm bringing the hoop towards my core. That's the other thing. I want to bring the hoop towards me, like into my core. These are my two trees. I want the hoop to come in between the two trees. That's where I want that point to be. I guess from that angle you can't see if my hoop is flat or not. I'm being a coward. Let me show you. I think my hoop is. I think I can be proud of this. I think my hoop is staying flat. Let's just make sure though. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm hitting these. These are PM breaks. I'm hitting it, letting the hoop kind of like it's like in super slow mo. My hand is coming up here, and it's kind of slowing the hoop down into this one point where the hoop is going to flex and then come back out. Now, what I'm doing is I'm really taking advantage of having a second point of contact that is on my arm instead of like my upper shoulder or something. So the way that I get there is that instead of keeping my elbow low like this, I bring my elbow high. So instead of here, and you can do breaks like this, right? You see how my elbows are kind of stuck to my core right now? This is if I bring my elbows up, right? And it might take a couple of like hits before I get there. But now you can see my elbows are like way higher. So what's happening is the hoop is getting stuck. It's getting pinched. The 2 points are on my arm instead of my core. Your arm is so much more agile than probably the side of your body, right? And so that really helps you keep the breaks clean. So my elbows are right, like if going back to the water analogy that we use with the story of Aeneas, my elbows on this are really close to the surface of the water. If the hoop is the surface of the water, my elbows are up here instead of being way down here, right? You see the difference? This is me like, of course you can do it, but this is if I bring, and you can kind of see in an angle, you see how the hoop isn't even touching my back? That's the same thing up here. You know how to paddle. Paddles just, bring in the extra tightness to it. Oh. Okay. All right. Let's do another. I'm loving this. I'm just going to do another minute, but we are going to talk shoulders. I promise. Don't freak out. Oh, one more piece of advice. Rooting whatever the foot is that's doing the braking, like my right hand's doing the braking, rooting that foot will really help you tighten up the feel too. So I'm here, and all right, so that was me being rooted and doing it. But like if I was just moving around normally, when I go to brake here, I'm going to root this foot and I'm going to come off of that. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Rachel. That's why, you should just stick with what you got. Spiral tells me that I have fucked up arms, and that's why I can do some of this stuff. She's probably right. Let's see. All right. Yeah, I think. Oh, this track is good. Oh wait, did we just? I may have just played this last class, but let's just stick with it anyway. All right. So let's talk a little bit about rooted shoulders here. I'm hoping that break session gave you a chance to. So just pick a current, any current, and then we're going to settle into rooting. And there's a few things that will help you with rooted hooping if you are new to it. One is that different spaces between your feet might make a big difference in your ability to keep it up or not, right? For me, static shoulder hooping with my feet completely together, like my ankles touching, the balls of my feet touching, everything touching, right, is the most difficult way. Wide stance is pretty easy for me, or it feels a lot easier because I can really kind of use some of my like old school dance. It's like my old school way of moving and dance was kind of more open to that wide stances. I could try a forward and back. I forget this one. This one can be really fun. Actually, I'm digging this right now. All right, since this is advanced class, let's talk a little bit about this move, because this is a great way to strengthen your back, I think. I love this track. So let's see. Let's go up here. Okay, so what I'm talking about, advanced people, is 1 foot in front of the other and 1 foot behind, and then rocking that. Okay. And to sort of really help with this is a great exercise to see if you need to pull your front shoulder back or not. Like my AM shoulder, is it too forward like it is now? Do I need to pull it back? That's this one. And what you can do once you get some flight time is you can go ahead and turn all the way around. I don't know if this is making these. Actually, maybe if I brought the other one up. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So I'm facing one direction, and now I'm going to turn. There we go. You can sort of see it better there. So my feet are staying in the same position. Right? Whew, stretch. All right. That's pretty good. I'm turning the other way. So I'd have 4 variations of this, right? I could change my footwork. So now for me, my left foot's forward, and I try the whole thing again, turning essentially against the current, and turning back with it. Now my arms are out here in mountain, and that's why mountain is such a good tool. If you can just free your arms up a little bit, create some like air beneath your elbows, they'll start to help you when you don't hit it perfectly and things start to want to walk on you. Okay, Jules got it at least.
I'm a walking fashion statement.
All right, let's see.
I'm a walking fashion statement.
Okay. God, I wish you guys were right in front of me right now so I could read the room. I never know if I'm going too fast with y'all. But I'm sure we're running out of time. Yep, of course we are. We're always running out of time. So let's start static shoulders, and we'll jump into. We're gonna need something. We need something really up. Yeah, here we go. You're doing great. Sweet, great. Okay, cool. We're gonna keep the energy up here because we're gonna talk rooted. And let's see. I don't know what's the best angle. Maybe right shoulder is leading now in second. Yeah. Improvement for rooted shoulders. Okay. So let's stay here a little bit more on rooted shoulders. Officially rooted.
Sometimes life can make you
Now, one thing, of course, you can do is if you have a stool or if you want to sit on the floor, that is the ultimate way to, I guess, not the ultimate, but that's one way to work on your rooted shoulders, and I'll just show you what that kind of looks like. Sorry for the Batman angle here. But I'm here, I'm sitting, so this is the ultimate rooted shoulders right now. But just trying to do this, you can sort of feel like my sit bones become my roots, right? But this is a pretty extreme step because I have to keep the hoop pretty high or my slide's going to knock the current or whatever. So you can do this with a stool. You can do it basically anything that doesn't have a back, a yoga ball, whatever. And you can develop some of your standing rooted. You can just give it 30 seconds a day or 40 seconds a day. I haven't even tried second current. Oh, whoa. All right, that's not cool. I always learn what I need to work on in front of you guys, which is humbling. The mountain, especially when I'm seated. Whenever you limit the roots, okay, this is important. Whenever you limit the roots, you have to utilize more things because you don't realize how much momentum you're putting on the hoop through your movement of feet. So when you root, you have to make up for that somehow, right? One of the ways you can make up for that is, like, I'm showing off right now and I'm keeping my arms pretty dead, but if I keep them in mountain, it is so much easier for me to rock like this. Mountain helps you keep the hoop up. That's one thing to think about. Like, as I bring my hands up, there's a little bit of an up push on it just to keep it set, even in night, right? Like, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but this is me. I had my first slide obstruction. Okay. This is me, like, thinking about my night side of my arms. It's definitely helped me keep my chest open. This is me thinking about my sixes. Actually, sixes? Okay, so sixes are way more helpful. Okay, alright. Baxter learns in front of his students. Yeah, sixes, way to go here. Yeah, my sixes are helping me push the hoop out and present it to my night side or day side. So I imagine if I was standing rooted, it would be doing the same thing. I'm going to try it just to make sure I'm right. Yeah. So one of the things that I'll just, a pro tip, because I want everybody to have as much success as you can, a lot of times the shoulder that needs the most work is your AM shoulder or your first tree, if you're old school hoop path. So that's the shoulder that the hoop is rolling onto initially. That's usually the problem. So what I mean, I'm going to the left, so that's my right side, my right shoulder. And what I can try to do is push it back, right? A lot of times we want to push it forward. All right, so that's rooted. I'm killing y'all tonight. All right, let's do some angle. Let's do it. All right, so we're gonna end with some, like, okay, cool, this will work. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna end with some angle shoulder hooping, and then we'll call it. I'll say mercy, and actually we'll end with gooey shoulders. So I'll give you a break. So let's do some upbeat angle. Okay, so actually I know we might run a little bit late. Sorry, I'll be quick. So in angle hooping, what really helps you is to use your arms to regulate the hoop and to keep the hoop in front of you. Okay, so if I'm, hooping, so my mountain kind of shifts a little bit, right? So like, this is me mountain if I'm in lake. Like if I'm in a lake of water, I'm in lake right now, the horizon of the hoop is right here. this would be where my mountain would be. If I wanted to change that horizon though and like move it up into sky angle, then my mountain would actually come up, right? Because if you think about changing your orientation. And so if I'm in sky, my mountain might come up a lot. And that's where most people struggle in sky, is that they keep like the mountain, if anything, it goes to the bottom because they drop their arms kind of like this and they lock their elbows in. And so what can help you is to bring your elbows up, keep your hands on the, just underneath the water of the hoop. Sweet, shoulder on a stool improvement. All right. I can tell y'all want me to shut up.
I cut so much you thought I was a deep.
Oh, I love that part. All right.
Play the.
Okay, so I'm here, and I want to show you what I'm talking about here. So let's pick Earth right now. We'll just.
I cut so much you thought I was a DJ.
We'll do Earth first. So I'm on the shoulders, and I'm going to take my mountain, and I'm going to bring it back just a little bit. You see how I'm bringing it back across my meridian here? And then I'll start my bounce. And my elbows are like in night. I'm not that flexible, but they're in night, believe me. Just trust me. And that's me pulling the mountain back here. And then one aspect of the mountain is that my hands are coming forward here, right? And that's keeping the hoop in front of me. That between this point and this point, the hoop is being steadied in front of me, so it's not going to walk. God, I love angle hooping. Oh my God. Angle hooping is so fun. And I know that I'm a dude and we might have a different landscape under there. And one way that you can keep the hoop nice and high on the chest is to bring the arms out. Or to use your arms to sort of like, they almost act like guardrails for a drunk on a highway, and they keep the hoop kind of in a certain place. It may not be perfect every time, but they keep the hoop in a certain place, right? So, like, this would probably be pretty uncomfortable for most people watching this podcast or this stream, but if I bring my elbows out, then I'm up here, and the hoop is rolling right across here. And again, feeling my sixes, because angle hooping is essentially rooted, and feeling my sixes is really helpful for this. That's a side point. If you didn't watch the last class, I edited it down just for the good parts. And then I can. Oh, sweet. We'll take that same mountain, since we're running out of time, we're going to take that same mountain and help us walk it into sky. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'm in Earth, my mountain's out here, and then just by thinking about, I hope this is making sense, like I'm shifting, right? So I'm here, my mountain's here, I'm going to slowly start to shift. See how I'm getting the mountain up under the current now? Boom. And if I keep raising and tilting back with the mountain, then I'm big and wide underneath the hoop, and I'm in sky, and I got it nice contained. If I want to reverse, I can. There we go. See how my hands are high? Instead of down here, they're up here. And it's not like there's a right and wrong. It's just if you struggle keeping them down here, try them up here. Just see. Maybe this is the key that unlocks it. There's never a wrong. There's never in hooping. Okay. All right. I'm gonna play. Let's see. Well, it's 8 o'clock. Okay. I'm going to give you guys one more second with that type of pace, and then we'll, just for a second, and then we're going to cool down with GUI. If you have to bow out, I know it's 8 o'clock already. I give it. I just want to give some of you like about 2 or 3 minutes in case you were having a breakthrough to have that breakthrough. Yeah, that's how I am about legs. If you're too tired to angle hoop, like you're done for tonight, you can do angle breaks. They're not that hard and they're fun. Like I'll show you what I'm talking about. And I can like tap with my hand. They're not that hard. Momentum really helps you. I don't know if you can hear it, but I actually like to let my hoop tap the ground, you know, when I'm doing these, so it's like... I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. You're welcome, Shelley. All right, I'll shut up. Okay. Sweet. Nice. Everybody's loving shoulders. Sweet. Okay. All right. I'm hoping that y'all will be okay if we slow it up a lot and talk about gooey shoulders to end the night. Yeah. Wow, you guys are having your comment game tonight, y'all, is great. Very helpful stuff you're suggesting and saying. Okay, so we're going to use all the concepts that we did tonight to finish with gooey or slow shoulders. You can skip this part. You can fade me out and use your own music if you're not ready to slow it down. But this is me trying like to... This might be too dead. No, this is all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to just sort of use my arms and my stalls. This is me stalling. And this, to me, is shoulder hooping. And I could see how somebody could be like, well, I don't know if that's shoulder hooping, but to me, this is. And so this is a combination of our last two classes. If you didn't make the last class, you can go check it out. I talked a little bit about stalls. I was kind of proud of that. I feel like I at least communicated clearly what I mean. And so one of the ways to keep your shoulders gooey so you can find that momentum, because you don't want to freak your shoulders out, is to take these big steps. So I'm here, and if I take these big steps, right, you know, who knows what the hell's going to happen, but they're fun. See how I'm taking big steps? And if you don't have the space in your apartment, don't send me hate email, I get it. But I do have the space, so I'm going to take advantage of it. Ooh, this is nice. Forgot about this part. Oh my god, I love shoulders. I'm having one of those moments like where you like you hang out with an ex and you actually like it. I mean, not that shoulder hooping is my ex or anything, but this just... I'm having all these nostalgic feelings. I really like those slow shoulder swing breaks. You know, so basically I just turn, put the hoop to sleep in a stall, and then just spin it right back. I'm sure it doesn't look cool, but it feels cool. Not using any hands, just, well, you know, arms. That was a 3-point. Those are fun. Love it. Love it. If I bring my elbows up, it really helps me sort of stop that. Okay, y'all, sweet. I know most of you have to bounce, you got commitments and things to do, so thank you. Thank you for joining me, and I'm still dialing things in, but I'm really digging this new schedule, so I really appreciate it. And thank you so much. I'm going to play another song or two to free hoop for those of you that want to. Some more time to kind of come down. If you have to bounce, though, and I expect most of you will, I really appreciate it. We got to 100. I don't know why they give up. All right. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you, Rachel. Jackie, Carla. Yeah, it's sort of, my floor is great and it's sort of not great. You're welcome, guys. Rachel. If I missed anyone that chimed in, thank you, and you're still here. Please say goodnight or just thank you so much. Okay, guys, thank you so much.